Welcome to Silent Podcast, the place where we're anything but silent. I'm your host, Josiane. And today we're here with the most recent evicted house guest and first jury member, Elijah. Elijah, how are you today?
I'm glad I made jury, so that's pretty great. I had a tough journey, so the fact I made it to jury is very good. It wasn't easy for me to get here.
That is. So my first question for you today is, we know you're a super fan of the show. What was your initial strategy coming into the game, and how did it evolve once you actually got into the house?
I wanted to go in and find a ride or die and then try to get on opposite sides of the house and divide and conquer. But when you go in and you actually meet the people and then you see there's two returning players, things really shifted. And also too, there might be someone you want to be ride or dies, but it's maybe the timing isn't there for you to be like, yo, can we be ride or die? So I kind of also too, the initial vibe was very slow. You could tell people were really testing the waters and going at a slow pace. So I really had to adapt and improvise. And there were some people that I was close to, but I never really had a ride or die per se. Todd was definitely my most trustworthy ally at the end. And Kayla, I pretty much wanted to go to final two with her the whole time. But that was pretty one-sided. But that being said, I think that my strategy, aside from the HOH week, that was really ruinous. I feel like I generally did well.
Well, we saw in the earlier weeks that you had been approached about an alliance, which ended up being the directors. Were you thinking about your place in the group, like a hierarchy system, or were you thinking more of a group collective?
I'm a big team player, but it became pretty obvious to me pretty fast that I was at the bottom of that. So to begin with, I wasn't super locked into that. If it benefited me, cool. But I quickly realized that the alliance wasn't really benefiting me and that I was towards the bottom of it. And yeah, it wasn't a good alliance for me. And honestly, I was the bad guy during my HOH week, and yet I was the only person from the directors who didn't put up a director. So yeah, not a great alliance.
Well, touching on that, there is a big saying in Big Brother that says pawns go home. When you were set up to be a pawn, especially by members of your alliance, how did you feel?
I wasn't happy about it, but I tried to look on the positive side. I figured that there'd be some definite rewards if I pulled through, and I was pretty confident I would pull through. And yeah, it just kind of happened where I kept going on the block, and every time I managed to scrape by until the end. And it was tough, but there were definitely some benefits to being the pawn constantly. But wasn't the ideal strategy going in, that's for sure.
Well, in week 4, you did become HOH. So how did you feel winning the HOH and from the HOH when going into the POV center ceremony?
Honestly, it was I felt like I should probably throw this. Then I saw what the competition was, and I was like, I can win this. This is my comp. So I went and won it. And then I just tried to really get a good position in the directors. I tried to get a final four with people within the directors to insulate myself. But I played a little too hard. I lost track of some conversations. I got a bit shady with some of my moves. And then I pushed my own agenda too far, and certain people I was working with wanted to save Bailey or didn't want Bailey on the block. Because if Goose is on the block and we have the votes, it's fine. But if Bailey's on the block and we have the votes, no, that can't happen. So just a lot of things kind of spiraled, and next thing I knew, my game blew up and I had to adapt and cope.
Well, during your week, there was the executive power of veto, and it was revealed and used on Todd, and Vivek was the replacement. How did you feel about that move and the results?
Well, I was really glad Todd was safe. And honestly, I really got to find out. Apparently, he would have gone home, which is nuts to me. But anyway, if that was the case, I'm really glad he was safe either way. Did not want Todd to go home. I shouldn't have nominated him to begin with, to be honest. And Vivek, though, it's tricky because, in retrospect, I probably should have nominated Vivek, but, I knew him going wasn't good for my game. And honestly, I feel like Tola should have gone there. I feel like some people might have made a mistake, but we'll have to see, right? Because, when all is said and done, it might be oh, that was the right move. But yeah, honestly, that was tough. It was a tough week.
Well, we have to talk about the movie Massacre. So tell me your experience about that and how you felt about it.
Honestly, I wasn't even nervous. I knew something was coming, but I was it'll be fine. I saw it. I was okay, so far so good. Then I saw what was going on. I was whoa, flip, this is wild. I was well, at least I'm not a nominee. Then I find out I'm going on the block, and I tried to figure out what was going on, and I started to realize I was toast. But so much happened so fast that I wasn't able to save myself. And in retrospect, maybe I could have done more, but it was just such a wild, crazy night. So much was going on so fast. And yeah, I mean, that ended up what got me. But I worked in a movie theater for 4 years. So, like, if I had to go, at least I went out in the movie theater, you know? It was kind of fitting in a way.
Love that. I have to ask, do you think Victoria putting you up was a good move in retrospect?
I mean, I suspected like Avery was her number one, and Kayla told me that in like one of our last conversations. So I think it was less Victoria wanted to get me out as she wanted to save Avery, and she accomplished that. Whether that'll be the right move for her in the end, we'll have to see. But like, I understand the move, you know?
Hmm. Well, now it's time for a game that I've been doing. So we're gonna switch gears and play a game of superlatives. I'll give you a superlative and you can attribute it to a house guest.
Oh, this is fun.
Hey, okay. So the first superlative is who do you think is the sneakiest player?
Sneakiest player. Sneakiest player. Maybe Bailey? Let's go with Bailey.
Okay. Who do you think is the most underrated player?
Todd.
Who do you think is the most underestimated player?
That's tricky. Maybe Anthony at this point.
Who do you think is most at risk?
Did I say Tola yet? Probably Tola. Yeah, Tola.
Okay. And who do you want to see win and who do you think will win?
I want to see Kayla win. I think Spicy V is going to win.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Elijah. We appreciate your time. We can't wait to see what you and the rest of the jury decide on finale night. So have a good one.
Thanks. Great interview. Talk to you later. Never me. I don't know. Anyway, wish you well.
Bye.